Obia Odiba Omiachibia nim say if you look at this Achim mafia, they planned it years back. Say they will obscure the mantle from the Ashanti to the northern part. Almost say the Ashantis are gearing up to take the party. One, they have identified the problem and they'll give solution. How are they going to give solution? They will let the mantle pass the Ashanti people and go to the northern part. They have achieved it. A section of the Achim people, they have diabolic intention. And people who are aligned to Akufo-Addo, they want to take the nation by ransom, whereby they are not even in power. Still dictate how Ghana should be run. JJ Raleigh our tenants over 20 years and over. Kwame Nkrumah, I see a UGCC for the first president of the land. John Evans Atamos and power free fame. Mama, you know, if you man and you may be president, and yes, John Evans Atamos or win. Nipo more can I say me Boacheja. Boacheja hills. And if you look at Boacheja, answer the baby craft Ashanti region. How? Yeah, Boacheja. So I know so. Yes, Mammy Crobo. So he's coming from the Eastern Bloc. From the Eastern Bloc, you know, he's not a true Achim. Secondly, he has not been adopted as a Achim person. If you look at Achim for now, the boy is me adopted. A job by your friend is saying, any your friend is saying, Samuel Kumo, they'll bring you into the picture. Okay, is Ankoma. Occupy Ghana. Open Kofano Mama pressure. And you see, Obia will interest or the year. George Anda, Ojo Ponkoma was a member of Occupy Ghana and not a minister for information. Davis Mo, Amoy, Kofi Bento, Amoy, they're enjoying big time. They're enjoying because I don't know what person more achieve.
I was from a choir by my partners here, and a quada. Highest solid TV, Kaise production in the free Ken studio, Ghana. Na ne yatna se no na ensem ewufi. Ene ye wone ze na unim se the AGYAPADE documents. E de niema anegum. AGYAPADE document no. E document bi ye chance upon. Na pese ye chire ase se the document esi so no. E be no nya daje na onkan ne ye. But otie from the one Franco started say wo chire mu amwate ase na. Asem ne bitimi ko hia. Empeni se sa asem eni adanse etwa asem ne fa baabi edidi adanse maneyi. Oye kwadwo pon kroma de. Ye say na Addo second term. Ye mfa kwadwo pon kroma enko e da say communication ministry anase works and housing. Wo nya sika na yentimi empagya no na daache omega na mampania. Bushafo ase no krebi na ye na enko sori a ye say onmunyam for safoma for ne babi enne oye senate for penim pa na ukoka AGYAPADE document ne baabia e ka bibi so afa ho banking cleanup no AGYAPADE document so ka bi afa ho abusafo AGYAPADE document ase agro ese ya yampo me twam ho aba me ba Franco the Hater e ba be kam highest solid TV Kaise production ya yiri free Ghana Kens yo na ne e Wednesday ya transia na ye AGYAPADE document na ye nsa ka me nse wa wo bi won nsa ka bi na sere esi so na mu buy etre no e bi onya daje enkenkan enu nti ne transia na akenkan na de bi aye mfato ho dia ye ya cross check bi akiro ye say mfato nti na ma prison ni ne we anho na wati ase ye but AGYAPADE document if you as an asa agro asampa but na utie nsensem esisi ne nsema eka kon ba bia appointment ni bi ni namna abushafo kama yese eya ya mpa enesa medin de shaibula sisi Franco
the CEO
akwaba
mejo subinua
na ho ye
nyame adaroma ene de se na final one ama se de ye and the bia me ka say me de sem no ye adwanya sa pa ene se bia the shadow see pa ni benya problem a shebo na nka minsi ya yes na nka minsi adofo ene ahwefo nti no after some wo pa ni na ese meba na ba be ye adwuma
na mo se onti apoba
yes mama nchi obi bia obi ode na fidi ato solid TV bia mama nchi da bia me say it is an honor and a privilege to be in their homes or offices maybe omo bia no we are the kind of response ever the kind of calls you get so if you know friend me ba no na Twitter ba mentine na nkasa evangelist na ukọ roka wo sia ba bia obi anyankopon hira no and I know so ba man for bomb pie de my rasta jija no ofa o Libya ba bia obi an nyankopon onhira no na onye ne kase Mr. Joe Davis obi bia shaibu 1 or 2 ways wo boy bia no nyankopon onhira na onye ne kase
mamenchia Captain Donko Paul Adda
okay
so yeah you ma ewo ship no sia na no kasa de Ukraine
Political instability where Ukraine Ghana ni wo enya mo wa me se me research ma ka kire wa kodo fie no wo say Ghana for na 20 me afi kro ni wo so mo ko nse sa kro ni de Ghana ni bia ni so it has of Ghana ko mu wa wo say o mo koduru ye no o mu si free play mo tra bass mo kwa obi hu ma ana ma kwa bo say ha Ghana ni so a
Iraq kwa na Pakistan and Ghana.
Oh yeah Ghana for ni bi wo say am for ko
yeah baba AGYAPADE document especially the banking cleanup exercise.
Okay.
But ashefo and a TFO this program is being heavily sponsored by Minua Penny Bakefene Jonathan Owusu our Maryland.
Hey
Jonathan Owusu. Papa Yamho. Maryland.
Okay.
In fact, what should I say? Banking cleanup and Nema a course or say I'm a Ghana for Omufre Bruce, be festival my music is ya come. Now I will some say Okotana I will bring a year chuma now say Udi Sika eba or my baby invest. If you have a thought treasure, but whatever you want to go by top bon nadiade. A be actually Zikano, a CM for mount. Yeah, be show bra. It is come on. I'm say, but Franco,
see you,
and some mufi,
and some the doors home,
and some ofi. Na me pese me ye adwuma bi quick. Eba,
yabra,
me ba,
yabra,
na yaba aba be din komo. Na ahefo, ene asema ewo fie enya ne se. The New Patriotic Party. Omuna santefo anni ni yi. Kra. Na se si an communicators MPP communicators ya train omo se omo kwa omo yi anamfa so bori nyina mfa ba kufu ado omo ka da ba omi ade ne ho son sisi omo se na ado so apene so se ye mfa so bo no emmo no ne ka da ba omi ade ne ho son na seb previous driver mate ya unim baabi a first gi ahye wo de ho so ho son na yen na ado kro na be kan say wontimi enchastase MPP na kufu da mamu na wo de o mase wo de o ba beli na MPP enim say MPP o mampeni kofo nyuma paso na ye campaign e de win power ti Dr. Mahmoud Baba win power e yo na kufu ado nyuma pa wo kwa de luckily for you we are part of the system na ado de in 2008 na oye minister keke na onye vice president but de we vice president keep decision be on take here some of the appointment ni say President Akufo-Addo na appointing nipa at the bar number 2 office wo enti si dey etwa baumia efiri homa ne yiyi hwe mam ka se ma hwem se mo pa MPP momra santimant na mo pa chew se bone na e course me ne baumia ne ye ne mo fa che sabi erade se oye bona se o pa mu kan o do bone be chew se de be chew mo na de a chew mo fa chew mo ne ya panish mo but me busa MPP se monim se mo na mubu Krofo market amansi MPP for me busa munim se mo na mubu Mamponte market amansi se munim se mo na mubu Santase market ya mansi munim se mo sa bubu Kejetia phase 2 amansi tie musa mo se Ashanti region bone bay ane de aye bone aya ya ye ne se ye beto aba ye fi sa ase aye MPP songwo ye to boom edemamo 2020 ye the 4 more for nana enti 7 December ye lucky Kumasi market se obiam pese dwadini ba betenase na de tona ne no wankwa ngoto aba na bede na ye ni sumina so ana mebusa MPP ene chama untimi mu kwatra radio so a omuni asem bi aka o sorry a ana ayi kro no enidin regional minister ekwatra TV so wantimi ambo key projects a ya na Ashanti region asenso antimi ammo ntisi ano MPP communicated ade ana omonka isesi adwuma baako a eho aye den MPP communicator wa na waje pini se obe MPP communicator ade se wa wo se obetimi ahwe jata so obetimi anya jata kese na mebusa se sika na mo se anyone enye say sika na bi na mo de interchange e wo fanko sika na mo se anyone enye no bi na mo de projects or other parts of the country na Ashanti region bone bay and ye dey MPP yes ye ba bay interchange e wo so roundabout na eye the because the focal point no ene ye nam and ye gatters nche ene two manfo the same thing and the dwadifo a omo shops around Santase kwano ye could bubu omo shop guye simply because ye pese be buy kwan mu na said ye se wa anya ade amo ase a wo san to bono kro no se mo ntimi ya omo anase bo mo tonton na omo container mo tutu guye no yenya den endidi yenye den tena enne me call Kumasi race course abushafo ade a me de mani ko hu ye no enye MPP ma ye bone wa santemantemo usi den ede obi oton asomade obi oton mpaboa obi oton broni wawu ese onkoton ne niam wu ewo futrum ensomade ye ton futrum na usi emaye nko within some few months by July ne de net mo we central market na omako but from all indications say muntimi we central market san ya to aba enti mo san be jaye to ama na yese mamponte market amubu ye mo intimacy ama na ba be Santase market amubu ye mo intimacy abese Kurofo market amubu ye mo intimacy MPP ye busa mo se and this year mo pa che se Asante for down mo chima mo e de na mo beka afa Asante ho na market mo nipa bone fo ana Asante deserve say this time de o me down mo chi MPP for because Asante say said ye wo na anya wo ya ye nya wo faye ana wa nkasa otiri hu so a ye yiwa yibone wa o se uso pinu so a o krata enu aban mu MPP bone ben under the people of Ashanti region ediayen one village one dam one this one factory a plan for food and job one free education akwanya ma ye no more the Ghana for nanyina but aka the key monumental project mo baye me aka say party ekofa ba ye anu ye ho no and say mo baye central market amaye hwe mama enne sabi kurowura ka mo koka che kurowura say sika ne da ho onana mo antu a emrofo so ma fa sika na sa akono ti mo kodi ntro na che kurowura na kurowura race course akode baye na japade wo de ba baye ade wo se me mama nana mo ntena wiamo mo mfo mo ko race course mo de mo ko race mo do mo ko tena mfuturo mu owu alankojo chematin ana bro mo roofing sheet ana ken de Japan so e bro mo light kese mo do mo mfa atimamfo no na yesa nipa we mo na dan do obeto abade amam asem a making seka ye ndis ni ye kan a che ma ko ye MPP ni seka obe feel happy na de ye poma atuo na ani hwehwie o se me ento ye MPP nti na ya anka nche o man sache o mo anfi o mo kwan bone ho a 2024 7 December ba kwanto mienu anto ba kwanto mienu anto nya the MPP ko push and we MPP communicator we MPP ni na we feel say on proposition a catch say on penny phone say the more ya Ashanti region time because you can't fight the Ashanti region and win power MPP sabi NDC for quite say I say you almost Mahama gave us central market. Mahama gave them a Asafo market. He gave them not a Asafo market, the Atunsu market, Aswanse market, and Tafo market. Rati Park, prime person on innovative, and the MPP for Yanyamu Day. Say, Obi wa Ashanti, you know what about NDC? Can you blame the person? See, a better about the TMPP, if you suban tanya more than the DHR Sante for. Kuro at the baby, what in the baby? And I'm one can't change say more than a cob one class. And then I hold the Maho Busha for Miss Ram. One can't get President who father say. Say Bonnie Asante for Asante Diana, one can near Kujantua. Now all the ombe complete market no and for my. Because Mahama projects or buy also win. Say Mahama so Baraka Central Market we are. Ya mama boss our Asante region. But 2024 election is two things, either Baumia or Mahama. And a Baumia age and if you work for the projects on. So Baumia so bad one to us. na Shantro yede President Kufuor Central Market Phase 2 it is your project so just complete it but the man be here say Franco
see you
Niema kono because and na me that you must say MPP for us or take Asante region for granted what could boom and ponte market when see ja okoye obu Krofo market when see what could boom Santas market when see kesa wo ba Asante region na be dream market egu na okọ
you said they know say you vote for them. So that be a catcher. If you have a candidate who is lobbying to be the running mate, a catcher himself Santa for the moon say bemu tisi tashe na makwa akotoaba. Then there be asa na beko. It gets to a time whereby say a man for netimum of mind no and me chill madwin in a positive way and ya temi die ni sa no mano. But you open up and then you tell them the honest truth. How the NPP they are running Ashanti region. Me hu de omo no ha. Who share the minister or a card your pay. Na anu bi da ka wuntu was ye we ni bi. Ade kwa ye wuntu money. Ade awaye anka no mafore no matanta ne se enkamfo mu anka wa beka unmi bie wa no timi kaso obi ma me sebaifo obi ma ne jondama ni ma etwe mfra ne sa no ma no no ma hu hia ensem fata dia you come out and you come and say but ade awaye as a government the kind of projects amaye no unmi nka
esiana na Franco uni ma dey asi ya say MPP running mate e share 5 billion
matter ansem no ba I don't know if it is true
chairman Aluta Jabi constituency chairman.
My ten interview
was say yes. Fifi Fred chairman Fifi Bantama chairman Fred.
Namikabu.
Yes. And call Joe card fee was qua. Call my petition.
Okay.
Okwa was sign say. O person na pobe running mate. O sign we are no 5 billion. Hey. Now since when Anna?
No. Running mate is it for sale?
Context.
Is it for sale? And you see one day
MPP about full.
Permit me to be your member so. I will tell you where. Let me put it here. I'll go into details for you because running mate, you know. Or more lobbying, I don't know you munya. Don't know how munya.
Guess about me, or son,
unknown people, unknown faces. Any I say, Omoba. So me, you just relax. Ebian a man connect.
And then, yeah, Baba, yeah, AGYAPADE3. Yes, document.
And we say last week, I'm for the to so.
I'm almost say a swivel. More pay AGYAPADE3 document. Now, and then the Baba something about the banking cleanup. And near be a senate near my nice customer. Now, so program me Penny Jonathan or Maryland.
Oh, fine.
Was say on the opposite sponsor.
Hey, sir,
opposite sponsor.
And then the card
say one first kakra and sponsor. Nya kan waka so sponsor
yes
near Ghana for
ehunu kure
no yan poma na kwatenti no na answer be ka say badam for the captain
on a team no
on a ship no
hey ya shebe so on the Black Sea
on Ukraine so oko Ukraine hey
na menka no
ba nipa hudu me say
na menka no
Brunia ana nipa odi kan ye de ship man so ko try the police ko try masa owa hudu
na play kwa ni hwenifu etu abuwe esi abuwe
me ese nsu on farmer sign ya Franco and there yeah
my encho bibia
good
if you look at every particular government one major responsibility of every particular government is making sure economy is now
sure
now if you look at the New Patriotic Party in 2016 the kind of things they said about the economy and no man person mo bomba be ya no person mo economy is robust e jan na so
yeah
na saibu obacha no so I give it time cost of Ghana.
Okay.
Anytime the NDC is in power, people try to say NDC for instance setting up businesses and banks in making sure some of the banks now. The JJ man for economic disconnect.
Yeah.
Miswadie metiesi company be an FN R5.
Yeah. Na Piram.
And it's no man.
Yes.
Utiemwa people whether concorded or reality. They come to tell us and conform with bank nature. If you go to quarter. Nasa asemba you fit the lifting of the veil lifting of the veil is a one money share company na say but I say be na share bu una lead company Solid TV obi am say be Solid TV share bu dia but maybe we have directors amoye omo de and say be as na assembly ba na ekopiem wo court if you want to see the direct owners of the company the judge will tell you say you have to lift the veil who lift the veil now and me won for company directly e omo dia
sure
to obi record just me ire na me bad obi say and then obi o the face keke but he's not the direct owner of the company. Now, Saibu, so many car carriers, if you look at the NDC, anytime they're in power, people try to label them to banks. The interest and always we're creating problems for them. In 2016, Shaibu, when NPP was in opposition, after the net D came just a move to God is love. Okay, so if you go to Bruna Hafwa, it was a major problem. Yes, it was a major problem.
Say God's love, because say Muhammad.
Yes, Shaibu. Yeah. And this is Bank of Ghana. What's the now? First lady, not owner of DKM. Let me free me, Shaibu. Let me tell you one story. I was there. After saying nobody near crisis, and the owner of DKM, Eba maintain. You know, catch him say, I don't know Obi. You know, so he wants me to be part of DKM as a head of communication. And the first time of car, the interest rate, you know, it was 157%. Now, guys, say no mean to me. Obi wire banking and finance. Or the catcher say this kind of interest within 3 months. And I didn't want away. And I told him to me. And he was telling me, I'm so massa, men. But I had people I know my squad, they first so near my let me go and do it. Just a Motors also approached me to be the auditor. After auditing their books, that be so I know say cars be and to do see can ban up a car. No, system million about now they are 12 for 3 months. I saw says can. And yeah, dear bit me because a circulating money, a Sabusika, any day money into Robin Peter to pay for. I didn't hear running on your deco. And a true baby, no. If you go to the Bonhafo, a lot of people label the former the first lady to be the owner of DKM. Yeah. Yes, I'm buying him Hubi, a ban paying for everybody who cries a Ricopoku, and now Okopium, our son. Yeah, as soon as for yes, so no crumple count that we require him. Yes, as soon as south. Yeah. Maybe you says to TV. And if you look at your Collins out there, and some of them form one, and my mom focus and then they'll see. Because what you have now, a quack of mums, oh, we don't consider there because I end this in paying for an shady. Sabu, surprisingly, if you look at the communication director for the New Patriotic Party at that time, we ran it in an Akumia. Way at the 21st of September 2020. Now about 6:18 p.m. Was say paying customers of DKM. Others are monumental fiction of the MPP. MPP form the PM of Bonhafo. I catch there to depositors. They say BSC Kadiaman if they win power. Yes.
Over power.
Yes.
Yes.
What say? The leader of the communication team of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Akumia, has said paying customers of the defunct banks, especially DKM and others, is clear indication that Akufo-Addo is a sensitive to plight of Ghanaians. Blaming John Mahama administration for the banking sector crisis, which led to the collapse of 8 banks, Mr. Akumia said the ruling party is committed to building a strong economy where every Ghanaian will enjoy on their true. And over that time, the MPP strong campaign said they are going to make sure so mobile power. Some month for sika deposit sika account. Yes. Sabu. In 2012, now NPP in terms of seats no more 13 in the Brunhafo. Yeah. Now NDC was 16. In 2012, the NPP had 469,909, representing 47.33% in 2012. Time at DKM, just a Motors, God is love. Yeah. When the issue came and the NPP came to the Brunhafo, promising a lot of depositors, say do one as more about the money by more. Making this kind of statement, they are going to pay the money to all the depositors. No, Shaibu, the NPP in your 20 seats in 2016,
from 12,
from 13
to 12.
On your 17, Emma NDC in your only 9 seats.
Wow,
the NPP said we want on winning that, but because of the promise and the pledge by the New Patriotic Party, so my GG says Canada more mono. Everybody say I think we are maintain for the first time.
Sure, say baby, because on person almost 2 aba. Asian people no number you.
They say obi a wo tiri bi ofiri nkranza. Ofiri Brunhafo, ofiri Sunyane, ofiri Waji, ofiri Techimai. Shabu. Time omo lock up Bank of Ghana and lock up this kind of companies. Now Krumu as a yes as will be a lot of people had a lot of deposits. It was around 3.1 billion Ghana cedis and the Google banks in the world. So if you go to Brunhafo, there was a serious problem. And I just a man for book crowd, I said, be wooye. Obu ha yare so course, but when you scan in Kotondo and Sanoman. But the NDP came promising them, say, if they come to power, they are going to make sure somebody says Canada. So I will be seen there in Kusivi. Saibu, it tells a baby of Babiano, he wants to have a strong economical force. Or per se community journey now. So I couldn't make journey now so there. And just say some banks is to me one year or make sure to meet me a conquer. The days of J.A.K.4, it is believed. Say no, because banks was chasing people to give them loans.
Yeah, because in 2007, yes, 2007, 2016, Saturday Barclays Bank,
yes,
me I'm sure Qatar brand.
Because if a bank, a bank can get a lot of revenue. They drop by balance sheet. No be no blueprinter. It depends on the kind of loans for the amount and the kind of interest. I bet that's what be because bank go music jam kwan wodi and so benya ska we try life we try water we try salaries or other no so tue e we try rent ne sa no ma no so we try sa no ma na just so this can be akwa abontia ma bosia no interest atos no agege dia ba. So if you look at financial sector now, for every government to be sustainable and strong economical force the bank should be strong.
Yeah.
So if you look at J.A.K.4 the timer, you saw how banks was very strong in Ghana.
Yeah.
Now Saibu, surprisingly the catch us at AGYAPADE3. Now I've come to believe 100% it's no more a fiction. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's no more a fiction. No. At first, Meka, I was giving conditional statement. I was saying, he said, if, because it's a conditional statement.
Yeah.
All that I was saying, he said, me say, I cannot confirm, say, it's a reality, a concordant, and I said, yeah, a lie, and I said, there are allegations. But today, Saibu, I want to confirm it. I want to put my stance on it. Say this book don't take it to be a fiction.
And okay to do.
Sabu, from the one, I make AGYAPADE book na smacho. I told you how they wanted to take Radio Japan off from the radio of the New Patriotic Party.
Yeah.
How influential he is to the grassroots and how the grassroots penasem. They have to make sure they have to take him off. Second, they have to create problems for him. Whereby only be an idea for no problem. On one Kasanen will fight against him. How are they going to fight against him? Only the command opposition party. No opposition party. Or more time to say yes. Do that a toy yes mine. Anybody knows make a compare quite upon. And by Yabesi Angel and the Basso, they wanted to remove them from the New Patriotic Party, making just the girl become unpopular in the constituency. Akufo be pay more Ashanti region. The kind of question you post to Akufo, the kind of answer on the ban, Emmanuel clear said there was a hidden agenda against Obano. Ni papa inspire card fan who and by Yama Nano me catch us say. If you look at your pong Kroma, now they see him to have to be one person of presidential ambition. And said him to come be a scawane sano mano. And my kind of works and housing in the AGYAPADE book a room and pampa a bum. So first one among 14 come a room.
I saw for 1 minute to yes.
Thank you, my brother. How they pay them 10 million Ghana cedis, and that's 1 million Ghana cedis every month. So and how they've able to maintain contained and muted pastors in Ghana. Big man of God. Or more than numbers, charismatic leaders, or more than numbers of Mukasa Manfuetiano, they are no more. Sure. Because of this AGYAPADE document. You can take it to be a fiction. You can take it to be a dream. You can take it to be imagination. Don't joke with this book, Shaibu. Don't joke with this document. And remember me see us this one. Obi catch us and the AGYAPADE book will come in 2008. Or 2009. Shaibu records as much will be obwa. The records AGYAPADE book only in 2007, 2008, 2009, the person is lying.
After not buy now.
Yes.
The first step.
I could find win elections. No, we have to draft. And let me tell you something. Now, I shall see yourself a cast at for now. A section of the Achim people,
yeah,
they have diabolic intention.
Yeah, Achim Fonibi.
They have diabolic intention. Yes, and people who are aligned to Akufo-Addo, and they want to take the nation by ransom, whereby they are not even in power. Still dictates how Ghana should be run. JJ Rawlings, our tenants over 20 years and knowing. Kwame Nkrumah, I see a UGCC for the first president of the land. John Evans Atanos, and a power free firm, Mama, you know, for Foreman, and Umrana may be present, and John Evans Atanos. We've seen prominent people in government. The rich are now bread for the New Patriotic Party day today. Shabu, don't joke with this. And then Baba can't send the actual. Now, if you look at the banking sector, the reason being that there's a lot of court issues. Okay. Because over GN Banga or court, Ohe amuabemo a omo wo court. So asam wo court a untimi nwura asem and me nchechim until the final determination by court. And there's a court of competent jurisdiction. To whom come asem ya. Thank you, my brother. Yet ye cause CIA. Even now could be 6 months from near mile. What you say? Good. And there's a worker. Now no corner by who say we are sitting on a time bomb if you are not careful. But I make what I say. Me no any Austin watch out we should not joke because corner by the side. Papa no afraid of cast it's a big man in government. Yeah. Don't joke with it. Yeah. Saibu, if you look at AGYAPADE, way I pay 3. Yeah. AGYAPADE. Saibu, uncle. Already uncle pong. Yame fani pa boni channel. I say the first phase of the economic and financial sector control was to be implemented in the first term. The next first term of office. Okay. As we get closer to the end of the first term, we have to set the ball rolling. We have to set the ball rolling regarding the objectives set in our first document. Or say, Osha, Nana Baye, no. Quite never for the sick assembly to imagine. Those here in Timaya, but Nana second term, dear, was sending money. There have been difficulties, largely due to some pitfalls on our part. Yeah, or say na near my consider be brave by, but that coincidence your one near maybe omoye na ma consider by. Thank you. Or say, for example, the control of the energy sector or the electricity sector could have been handled better had it not been for the greed of some of Achim elite we had included as a cover. Or say a Jumadie na say AGYAPADE na no person mo ye no. Na eye omo commit my je amane ho afi. But omo kofa enkofo bi omo nya Achim for become no omo Jumadie na ye din mo, especially don say ka ba oman energy sector, especially electricity a na commit me take over. But enkofo bi a they don't believe in Achim for no bi. And a mass had any buy. Nipo mo kana se me Boachejako. Yeah. Boachejako hills. And if you look at Boachejako, answer the BB Craft Ashanti region how. Yeah, Boachejako. So I know so. Yes, yeah. So he's coming from the Eastern Bloc. From the Eastern Bloc, no, you know, he's not a true Achim. Secondly, he has not been adopted as a Achim person. If you look at Achim for now, the boy is me adopted. Kwajoba, your friend is saying, Kumamo, any your friend is saying, Samia Ukumo, they'll bring you into the picture. Maybe Saibu, even Mama Sanyame Papano. But who adoption could be the mammy. I've shown loyalty. I've my promise. I've made sure that the mayor piano it conforms to you. Sadia, Sani Panafan is Sameba. Obasa Obitima join a bush by adoption. By adoption. Yeah. To be Sani Pano, ever you will be a bush and a penasam Sanoman. If you read here, or more patches say, none case any put me occupy this kind of energy sector should be an Achim person. Yeah. Because of the rules and Kitomo, how to siphon and knock and control the system. But I couldn't do. They wanted to make sure they have to amass wealth. Yeah. Obenyeska. As if feasibility said require $1.5 million. Sure. I don't $12 million. Yeah, $12 million. Anya no. $12 million US. And they had issues with how Emma the minority and a lot of people, societies, you know, when you're civil societies, yeah, how they came out to even vilify and chastise this kind of thing they were doing. And which we should, however, find some ingenious ways to overcome the opposition. What the opposition, you know, the NDC. Opposition but come responsible about this AGYAPADE project is the MDC. Yeah, let's NCC. Yeah. Who tells Sami Jamfimo? Who tells more minerals commissioner? Yava so more and energy minerals so more NDC for now. They came out to register their displeasure, saying, I didn't know it's soon infrastructure. The kind of things that you want to do is not going to help Ghana. And never seen them look and say the AGYAPADE project is in the hot. Yeah. In main can want them. Meboa. Shabu. Franco. Changes in the leadership of the most supervisory institutions, particularly the central bank and the security exchange, has allowed for other blueprints to be implemented. So, changes in the leadership of the most supervisory institutions, central bank. Now the Father wins power. Yeah. Or winning power in April, and over a friend, Mr. Addison. Yeah. Deans or no governor for the Bank of Ghana. Yeah. Because he's coming from their blocks. Yeah. There's no government in Ghana that will win power. Other countries will be opposition. But they go for their own. They go for someone who they can control. They can make sure that they will remote control the person. What they will say will be final. And the members I say, but people who are but just because it's by political appointment, young problem for you, there are some benefits and emoluments that you enjoy. Tis any panel prefers or yes, one. Another, Jerry Boss says, Jan Kamanin Kui. Now, other the Okui, near 1.4 million, 14 billion Ghana cedis
a month.
a month. So it tells you, say, if you look at the kind of revenue generation of Muya, Obi how to work, I don't know more than one pay, but I would be one. Any allowances I walk home, or you're not going to sorry free so.
And I'll share by say, yeah, point to be a party.
Yes,
but this time they are a chim mafias.
Yes.
Apart from your party, you say, oh yeah, a chimney.
We are chimney.
And as you've bought into our ideology.
Thank you.
And yes, I am.
You might not be a chim, but we can bring you on board.
Yeah.
Because I know what you are helping.
Yeah.
And even on the to me, Ashanti region. Yes, I know for wound to me more. Everybody said they should destabilize the party in Ashanti region. Yeah, say baby. Baby, now Kofua, you better tell Momo, or my Genosha, in the bedroom, my Yajuma, or me, they will destabilize the party. And you see, this banking cleaning exercise, J. Kofon, the reason why I'm saying I can't do our banks will be good.
And only say, near Quakoto, Abano, November 14. No, he said no already or more 100,000 votes.
20
November 4th, the honorable Kenmodian.
Really?
No more 100,000 votes. And no Buna John Kumamako year, less in 1 a.m. Why?
Yeah.
Quadaso, and on buy problem I see. Gift to him was in my family.
Yes.
Not already more 100,000. 100,000 I can. And I know what I'm
Shabu.
Uncle.
Now let's go into the banking issue.
Okay.
A hot and I be Shabu and some a dorsal. And some no hour.
Yeah, but call the banking issue. As some American on say, we are Ghana, you say, sit ye chair, so you value, and until the Nax luxury apartment at the Abba. Apartment, may say, yes, see, just to suit you. Sabo when your baby part, so when your baby part. Now, one night, mobile June, ye, na boni be ento. May say, security, a 24/7. Okanya aye 24/7 unsu aye 24/7 apart bi okoda me so we kofi na den so nkurunsu eko anase ntefre wo kwako bio o cupboard mu na kese ene basa panas de wo se wadwene hu ti wo heda si wuti Mr. Friend numbers here eku TV so na no monko thank you
phase 2 but say this stage was scheduled to commence from January 1st 2021. Giving the high livelihood of Ghanaians, giving an Addo the term to govern this country. In the Addo way and Shabu, a deliberate.
Because or say, hey, you caught to about 20 and I do win ya sworn in now. Yes, near free us.
Yes. Say, this phase will consolidate the gains made in banking, insurance and capital markets, financial service sector. It will also see to the taking of significant stakes of mining oil, gas, telecommunication, as well as marine and aviation. Was it the area of general manufacturing commerce, which was not part of the phase, has been introduced. Rachel say, when it comes to general manufacturing and commerce, they encounter. No matter so diabolic, no matter say, I do not know what they are born. Jack, I came for no Muslim.
Strategically, captured, no. Not general money and commerce in Encounter. But commerce was cow.
Me say,
we are capital bank, telecommunication.
Shabu, and Kofu Motina Secrets are you a planning year. Some Kofu will make my assassin.
But Mammy Cassaman said, San Kofu, say a Morofua, and commodate bed Jenny or mine. Hey, Mocaso Moyas nation now, and yet don't miss a target. Anna Caso Mutanase. Now, cause our bonny wishing or money say, you may see that boy present Kufado. No one saw cinema gun and maybe a maton.
Shabu,
thank you.
Banking, insurance, and capital market sector. Control of this vital area will need to be expanded from tier 2 system to tier 3 system to tier 3. Consequently, the strategy to be deployed in each of the sub-sectors will be along with the lines of the mother. Only the mother. The mother is the Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
And banking. So you can say the mother banker. And no any other Bank of Ghana. Any bank. Ghana in a bank. So if you look at Bank of Ghana, they are a supervisory unit to other banks.
Yeah.
And now I say Bank of Ghana for be supervision. Or maybe have some books near come and man. But let me tell you one thing. Bank of Ghana for don't want corrupt. Don't want corrupt. Because I've been a banker before, I know how they operate. Oba, just because on open be good book the true reflection of the book on Fanko.
So about Ghana ni man akwa. Ghana ni man akwa. Ghana ni man baby ada. Ghana ni man man aduane di. Ghana man nsuo. Okwa man every day. Okwa say blue.
And they have a lot of links in banks. And say be asanye, they are come to do supervisory unit. Omo ba, a call will come from their head office. Say be na ye ba be pim no budrim. Ye ba mo head office, ye ba be ABA this kind of work. And then they will link up with one person they feel so they have trust in the person. The person will label the information and lay the information to the big people. The bank is running at a loss. But when my car is a bank is in a good state.
Tell them say banks na near say bit say first capital. Yeah, but then because you good bank. Because a cheap bank, a bank of
supervision for no. Because this is your work.
Man, yeah, you pay.
What I say? Oh, mom, so shaggy. Remember,
what did you see?
But he said, DK just a motor. If you go to the Brown half, Tama a picky man for this Kakotono. The Bank of Ghana, they have a branch in Sunyana. They have a branch in BA. And to man, test a man for Ekas. Your interest rate it even goes beyond that treasury bill. So we make out this car to scale the or give 50% 3 months. And what is the regulation of the Bank of Ghana? Almost on fast on a day. Why should we put you at big offices and give you good money? That is the problem that we are dealing with. We are discussing. Because of many scantino. And I'm saying this on authority. Don't never more muntino. I've been so many pounds from Ramayan or may so it tells you say if you look at issues are not air cost now no man air cost is air time our hope. Now if you look at banking sector where or say supervision biological now what you have almost biological children and adopted children in the banking firm. What you say, biological children and your banks are they are in line and in bed with the new patriotic party.
Okay.
Biological. They are in bed
with a political party in government.
NPP. And I adopted no. If you go for Biba, shall be met them one dance. Franco do MPP ni pao. We meet my test. If they test you and say we are correct, they can bring you on board. So if you look at biological for now, the biological any data bank, any prudential bank, the owner and the owners of these two banks, they are same people.
The Prudential Bank, they got upon MPP who had Domoka.
And you know, it tells you, so as some here can say, these are the direct control. We want to hear the biological people. Adopted banks, you know, we are much richer.
Okay.
Chabu,
Banco.
Page 5. The mother. And the mother, no, and is a central bank. Okay. And the Bank of Ghana. Yeah. Now, I did be here in Ghana have been a politics. Shabu. So when you are some Ghana, now person a foolish case, now say allow yourself to one political party.
And one
now the opposition and answer there are some so fun one so align to another political party as to a chat. You better with Tesla, you never been so now some ABC Basa. These are the kind of things that is happening in Ghana. Now banking, so when you go on banking, mother. Control of the mother is essential to control the industry. And you know, they might not be in bigger positions, but they will bring people on board who will take concrete decisions, who will control the Bank of Ghana. Tenye or Metinamubi. But how question remote control? I've given you power. Some amount of power there. So if you look at the mother is the Bank of Ghana. So far, the head of the mother and his first deputy are strongly aligned to our cause. And aligned with Tiha was say so far the head of the mother and his first deputy are strongly aligned to our cause.
Sending part that Bank of Ghana no and then nobody actually.
Yes.
Omo ye kese omo na ba omo kan ho.
Thank you.
Omo na ye na tie didibo.
So you go into Bank of Ghana website. Then you go and look for the main boss. You look for the first deputy. Now the second deputy assembly will make kind of okay. Now Dr. Addison and his Addison, governor, on your chairman. Yeah. Dr. Marcel Opoku Afari, first deputy governor. These two people, These two people are in line with these people. Yes, what's it? And his first deputy are strongly aligned to our cause.
Okay.
What cause are you fighting for? The cause you are fighting
to
for.
Control the banking sector.
Thank you. Shabu, or say they are from our compound. Say case will be from the compounder in terms of banking. And all your deals that you do, the person has a lot of information about it. We perceive no threat from these two people. Tomato no, I do a kitomo. Sango for me, Sango for me, because they have faith and confidence. Yes, because these two people. The second deputy appears the gender advocate. Now listen, underline with
gender advocate.
Who is the second deputy? Mrs. Elsie Addo Awazi, the second deputy.
Awazi the oya.
So listen to this. The second deputy appeases the gender advocates. Gender never or your bar.
Yeah.
The first two you remember.
Yeah.
But if you look at the second one, I'm say gender advocates, meaning she is a lady. And also not a source of, discomfort. Or no
and I feel comfortable or say not our source of discomfort. Yes, say one, your
first deputy the second deputy first, second. Why you third person? Dear, look now
our source of our discomfort. What are we going to do it?
Shabu. In this vein, there's no need for the changes in those places. I could find a buyer or buyer papa governor or your way first deputy because they align to the person we tell you I don't person we I didn't there is no need for Akufo-Addo to change them. Or even if it is getting to their retirement age, they should go on retirement based on where governor, where first deputy.
More extension.
Shabu.
Na contract.
It is however noted that the head is likely to reach retirement age before the end of phase 2.
Head, Tama also occur.
Yes.
Yes. Phase 2 and phase 2.
Yes.
8 years.
Thank you. In that situation, the first deputy will have to be supported to take over.
They'll say the first deputy, I will say ye piano.
Yes.
Now we need call time
because Dr. Maswa Opare Opoko Afari, first deputy governor, a baby says Momokan Wahane say the first deputy are strongly aligned to our cause.
Yeah.
Obian will bet me Obian and your penanti. And the Nipo Oya did be probably obey Nananti. Saborino would you mean Dibonino and Quasasano and Quasasano because what's Hana, the second deputy, no money, and Oman we are the woman who create problems for them. Or sign your back. And man do not see extremely careful. Or Kunu, our Makwa, sorry, Memman is a more book on Indian because of bad your shed. Now, Shaibu, in that situation, the first deputy who have supported to take over. Replacement of the first deputy in such circumstances will not be by promoting the second deputy in the role of the first.
Like I say, what say, dear. First deputy,
yes.
About succeed the boss.
Yes.
Second deputy, the new say your money, you promote man about a first deputy.
Yes.
Because on a megunas on them.
I do one casa, say, yeah, but corporate settings. Your maybe a general manager, wait to us. Say, be a general manager, you are your toss one only a second person. Immediate. Yes, can even act in a capacity as a general manager. But because when I junior Kitomo, Mamma junior Kitom is totally different from 1 year. And you say, oh, yeah, very smart too. How could they wait till you? Such a dear partner, they were able to read into the mind of this particular woman and say she's in their camp or not.
Someone comforted.
Matter point I say, how? Because a church I'm saying diabolic or my empirical research. Or my say, no, we have to do a lot of research to come out. Suddenly, and say, yeah, very, very strategic. Now, Shaibu,
Uncle,
I'm saying replacement, circumstances. Yeah. By promoting the second, rather a strong Bawumia loyalist should be appointed to the role to further strengthen the Bawumia political cause.
Obia Bawumia Chocho and he said in the back,
yes,
at the second deputy,
yes,
said by Obitima Baba champion Bawumia cause.
Obia Odi Bawumia Chibian say, if you look at this Ache mafias, they planned it years back.
Yeah.
Say they will obscure the mantle from the Ashanti to the northern part.
Yeah.
Almost say the Ashantis are gearing up to take the party.
Oh.
One, they have identified the problem and they'll give solution.
Yeah.
How are they going to give solution? They will let the mantle pass the Ashanti people and go to the northern part. They have achieved it. Now, how can you get a lot of resources, revenue for Bawumia to champion his cause to become the flag bearer and eventually the president of the Republic of Ghana? This is only a loyalist or Bawumia. So I'm saying they are going to appoint a loyalist from Bawumia to strengthen Bawumia political cause. This is in line with protecting the legacy of Nana, could enable us to step aside and further alienate the Kufuor faction. Say, can say alienate, that be alienate.
Okay.
Alienate, which say either Odi Adjumanu womb, but also new faso.
Yeah.
We are irrelevant. Either you are first debe of the Bank of Ghana, what work. I quite say many say Pauko say Mr. Atta, no vice president. They say none is new faso as the vice president. No, this is what they want to do. So the much further alienate the Kufuor faction.
Because the Kufuor chidi ye proper na chikura
Kufuor. And here be
Kufuor do bashisha munya mo bad munya hwe.
Yes. So Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo will see Kufuor and laugh to him, but inwardly or hidden agenda against him. Chasemi, me share Saibu actually, but I have a hidden agenda against Saibu because so I want to be relevant. I want to stay in the home and control the party. Now Saibu, biological children.
Yeah.
These are banks in which we should have controlling interest. The collapse of local banks, which ties to the opposition and the other rival political franchises during the cleanup operations undertaken by the mother, was a resounding success.
Yeah.
Almost say, almost Bank of Ghana Basso. The Indian Bank of Ghana Basso say, if you look at banks, Mr. Ansem will call it means if you look at banks now, they are aligned in bed with the opposition NDC. Yeah. Kwanya Bank of Ghana first one mutual ma cross you or more down or more bonus because a human why you
I want coffee.
Bank then here come as me. Unibank.
Yeah.
Heritage Bank. Heritage Bank. I say do agongo dia. It is believed. So opunisi kana omuka so they cut off fertilizer bino. The money passed through Heritage Bank. Now the Bank of Ghana, account. During their research, they saw say there are a lot of NDC party monies that passes through that kind of bank. A lot of NDC money.
A foul. And this funny deal, honey now.
And you know, to play it safe, let's take it off. I'm going to tell you who they may ban, maybe because media. Now, Shaibu.
Uncle.
So if you look at Pauko's in, if anything, Dr. Kwamnado for as a bank. Unibank. He's also an he's also an NDC person. The bank Omugu.
Yeah.
Now Shaibu, don't phone me almost way. The NDC ekasa de fa ho. And Shaibu, if you listen to the NDC and some more kan ya, a man said no. Way I the NDC. NPP adopted a wrong approach in the financial sector cleanup by the NDC. Then the Speaker of Parliament already doing Eddie Aban Bagben was said the Bank of Ghana Aid made an error in the cleanup exercise.
Well, okay,
because as your banks, yes, your banks they were targeted in making sure you be good. But it can't say no bank. It's a court. So I cannot go into it. This is because the figures the Bank of Ghana I have issues with it. I said it was a deliberate attempt by the Bank of Ghana. I was trying to acquire 2.5 million, 2.5 billion. Was it the Bank of Ghana aid?
Yeah.
I said was it the Bank of Ghana the aid? Aban Bagben said there was an error. Let's not forget, Aban Bagben is a lawyer.
Yeah.
He's also a lawyer. And who tells me Aban Bagben also can? And trust that the NDC they were having problems. Now, Saibu.
Thank you.
If you look at the NDC and some more can, if you look at already the Eddie John Dramani Mama, okay, and I'll tell you. Your mama say Nyanko Ponya Adom, now so almost to about the man as the president of the Republic of Ghana. Oba, make sure say Omo revoke common license, he will give it back to them.
Yeah.
John Dramani Mama.
GN Bank.
Was say
the Royal Bank.
Yes. Was so he will give it back to them. Now, Shaibu, the NPP came to loot and destroy the banking sector. Where is Amija Bifi? Where 23rd July 2020, nay Tuesday. Shaibu, or can we, and John Dramani Mama so catch us as a Nyanko Ponya Adoma. You make sure say Say NDC any power. So it tells you, say, if you look at the NDC for us why Jimmy say banks it was aligned with them. Quite fast way you go no and papa. Now if you look at the banking cleanup exercise, you say to revamp this kind of banks, near 7 billion Ghana cedis to revamp them, to give them energy, to give them power to work. The cleanup exercise, it was 25 billion. Kadeni, we have 7 billion to revamp them. But we cleaning now, over 25 billion. Size can or my can but yes, can call it. I'm telling you. Sabu,
Franco.
I must say, the collapse of the local banks. Okay. The collapse of the local banks ties with the opposition NDC and other political fractions. Other political fractions is the GN Bank.
Yeah. But the GN Bank.
Fractions.
Yes. Also a bank.
During the cleanup operations undertaken by the mother was resounding. It facilitated the flow of substantial financial resources into our war fund through backflow of some of the advertised cleanup costs. It facilitated the flow of substantial financial resources. So say substantial financial resources whereby the BS come up trading, you have direct control of the policies and money that they are implementing. Because you have control, always they have set up a fund. That kind of fund is the BS come up to every blessed day. Scam up across idea. So if you listen to the Mokana, they've set up a fund. And if you look at cleanup exercise now, you see a boka 25 million. Now a woman said the NDC wasn't smart. The NDC didn't push for Ghanaians. And the NDC didn't say your audit. And come your auditor, because can be 25. Shaibu, the NDC has been poor currently. And or say the NDC has been poor in currently and consistently demanding detailed accountability and the audit of the funds spent. That's why I'm correct here. This anka NDC for any brain, and they were pushing. A lot of Ghanaians they said they be.
When you're auditing, thank you. $25 million.
Yes. Yeah, 25 billion.
25 billion.
And a million, 25 billion. Says Kano, almost there be any cleanup exercise. Says Kano, because almost substantial financial resources, they call it a war fund.
War fund.
War fund. Oh, matter as can be too. So they want to, they want to control it. The process further led to the establishment of Consolidated Bank. Currently, a wholly owned government of Ghana Bank, our processes are well placed to take control interest when the bank is eventually returned to the private owners. I say, John Daman Mama Maka, and I'm going for much I call or a banking expert, I'm telling you. Yes, I know, Nippon Motrain. Who are me expert in banking? Or say, say a time will be coming. Be at the government about for bar. Abandonment must have the license, but some abandonment license, no more greater percentage of our banks. So they will control the banks. So they will control the banks. And their child say, what tell some more can ha? Whereby or say the bank will eventually return to the private ownership. The private ownership no obekono now for one major say any stake or bank you have no idea.
And the fact omunim say dey ade omuye bone e time come e be sa the banks ni wu amade dey amom but ye for mam no na ye wo because a lot of and I say more shares
so it tells you say the new patriotic party, and if you look at omo chairs how they were they were having an idea about it.
Abusia for say a solid TV Mr. Subscribe to the channel. Ne kai say obe share link. Let's share is caring. Aya kai say obe like page na information a Franco de barre revelation if the banking cleanup na. In fact, a buy why MPP ni bia o heli na dan Kufuor say our yard there pa because I say ya megemo kwa ka music abehye. Basena Trimupo botai bi touched. Na botai Franco de bano. Me kwan a blow my mind.
Shalu,
yes, Franco.
This is your mama.
Okay.
I restore licenses of collapsed banks. Mama. Meboa.
Yeah.
May 16, 2023. Adi emu train way back 2017. Meboa.
Temu ye don't
time a banking expert. Omu nyansa bruta. because they look for people and when it comes to bank nim our men on my bonnie
just say AGYAPADE here I work as a team of they were 10 crackers and share the more mobile job be about the banking sector no mo make sure say mo mistake mo so mo target can make sure just say me can say team 10 crackers for pa and don't trust how they we see
and it tells you how Shaibu ade no moye no omo ti ade na say and Shaibu and my hand I rest mama de no I want to get something for you.
Okay. Franco air try say obeye bia me kai we say Nas luxury apartment eye wunti ni asi enye meminti o eye wunti so benye baabi pada na wajeje wo ho na okoma ato yim utimi koda baabi na ultimate aje calculation so da pa bo wi na next time we start your business a business be flow utimi koda baabi enam say omompa na omoniema nye bo wi na odwene kwa ensiso kai say Nas luxury apartment fe na no
Shaibu
Franco
over biological bank ona biological omo say and late Kufuor fashion Kufuor fashion no they were having a bank the bank is no more
amba
collapse of sovereign a Unibank now dealing with Dufo and Ashanti heavy blues the announcement by the governor of Bank of Ghana Dr. Ernest Addison the sovereign UN Bank and the Unibank and 3 other banks will collapse and consolidated by sound, reasonable and according to regulatory practices. However, if this scan in the turf revealed that a lot of shenanigans by the Akufo-Addo controlled Achim mafia against the downtrodden Kufuor fashion in the new patriotic party in Ashanti is in general. Tia, Nippon sovereign bank ni ene dia. Nipa ene dia.
Okay.
But see, the exclusion of sovereign bank, an institution close to the NPP, in the most intriguing, while Data Bank and Prudential Bank ostensibly Achim-owned banks. Maybe I remember the candy be wa. I remember the one say nkofo no. Sad the omu ye bi omu Shabu own banks. Yes, own banks are being failed to survive. The Achim hatchet fell on sovereign bank is a Nana versus Kufuor fashional tussle in the MPP. See, the man behind this bank is Dr. Kwame Echamponchi, the owner of Gemini Life Company Limited, Glyco. The government and the Bank of Ghana knew very well that the liquidity challenges facing the Echamponchi Sovereign Bank long before the fictitious collapse of UT Bank and Capital Bank. It is, however, mischievous left to revive itself out of painful sympathy because the owner of the bank is an NPP guru in the Kufuor camp.
Come on. That's sovereign bank.
Sovereign bank. The owner no, is embedded over in Kufuor.
I say good bank.
Yes. But when NPP was in opposition, he was helping them, giving them a lot of. But just because he's not coming from. Yes. Just because he's the books, so you have to eradicate to take him out. Now, Shaibu.
Franco.
After taking the private ownership, as they will control the system, the Ghana Amalgamated Trust.
Okay, trust.
GAT received 800 million from government to ensure that the ADB, Prudential Bank, Universal Merchant Bank, NIB, and Omni BSI Bank were able to meet the minimum capital requirement to set out by the Bank of Ghana. Now, the Bank of Ghana, after some years, this kind of criminal exercise in real, so the minimum capital as a bank, I bet media control the bank, 120 million. They push it to 400 million Ghana cedis. And if you look at the incrementer, a lot of people also talk about that as Ghana. But they say they want a resolute, robust, consistent bank.
Yeah, say person before so yes. Now you be original brand.
Yes.
I mean you say now only says and
Shabu, utie the course na area. Na Shabu, si kase Ghana Amalgamated Trust, I wouldn't call. Or must say incorporated under the Companies Act as a public limited liability company on December 17, 2018. The Ghana Amalgamated Trust PLC is a special purpose. It's a special purpose investment vehicle established by the Ghana government to support selected indigenous banks. It is primarily set up to raise funds to recapitalize selected indigenous Ghanaian banks that needed assistance to meet the new minimum capital requirement of the Bank of Ghana to help them transform banks to become more competitive in the industry. Nature of this idea we buy and say indigenous banks are Ghana for the free and they are going through stress and problems. So they feel that there be young more muska, young first come on Omuntimi na bank in Konkai. But the NPP, as smart as they are, very smart as they are, never opted to go for Kufuor fashions for Libya. Never opted to go for podcast fashions. Or the kind of sign pan ABA, he didn't Dr. Parker's in the Pobet fight, or Yeska, one go for Mubia. Shabu, the war phone be almost ideal. Why the new patriotic party have to save Prudential Bank? I don't know more than Shabu. Or Motia Dena se papa.
Imagine ho.
And yes, a grouping no moody.
Imagine ho.
I don't know more than Shabu. Or Motia say. A Foko, a Japan, and the Prudential Bank myth. Shabu, why news at the new patriotic party stands to lose its headquarters building by the close of this month because the 2012 Nana Addo Akufo-Addo presidential campaign contracted a 2 million Ghana cedis by using the prime NPP property as a collateral has been swiftly and sharply debunked by the co-founder as the former chief executive officer of Data Bank, Ken Ofori-Atta. So Ken Ofori-Atta over here is also part. He's a co-founder per this at the Prudential Bank. Now, Shaibu, say the new patriotic party headed by Nana Addo Akufo-Addo continue to the Prudential Bank or a campaign in 2012.
So I'm a sub party officer. Time come it wouldn't be DS.
And after say issue never you know. Anna the and let any that's on.
Yeah.
Anna Prudential Bank for the chairman MPP for. I catch almost say almost wrong. Almost hereska because the Bank of Ghana is going to do their supervisory check. Scanners are a bit more scanners, so you have to pay the money.
2 million Ghana cedis.
I know
that time same jata mama so
that time. Already Dini Polafoku and Japo, the party chairman and the general secretary. And I'm saying says can no more can after receiving the letter, yes. After receiving the letter, they says the party is not going to pay. So individuals who went for the loan should go and pay.
Yeah.
And who are the individuals? Nanado. Unko problem ba ko munya yini. Omo problem ba ko munya yeno. Because Prudential Bank wanted their money. And at that time, so many it will be a problem for them.
Frankly, and Utie the Polafoko, they are right to you. Nana the Kwaji loan.
Yes.
And now they use MPP headquarters as a collateral. And Trisabi, now Kwaji loan, they don't touch the collateral.
And no matter for person. Now it almost say no matter 12 be parliamentary elections. Yes. And it's our filing fees and man says cano. The party headquarters and the executives of the party, and they says no.
Why do the party demo? Thank you. And I use the party as a collateral.
So, Prudential Bank, Mewa, the owner, a co-founder is from Achim. The owners are from Achim.
Yeah.
Listening to this, I personally contracted loan for 2012 campaign. Ofori-Atta.
Say, party
the chairman of the 2012 presidential campaign finance team of the new patriotic party, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, stated that he is personally liable for the loan of 1.5 million contracted from Prudential Bank for the 2012 presidential campaign.
I said, me and Busiana in the year 2012 election campaign. They say, Connor say, I knew being for Akufo-Addo moving people. The
demand notice from the Prudential Bank dated April 21. 2015 said the loan of 1.5 and the interest accrued had now amounted to 2,290,631.36, and that the chairman of the 2012 presidential campaign finance team contracted and guaranteed the loan for the purpose of 2012 presidential election. Akufo-Addo can never tell me so what he can never tell me so he knows. But one Omabusu no man Ken Ofori-Atta aba boncha bekas onu ne kwaje busia so Shabu
Obi Abraham.
Enti now sa amalgamated a year yake. Yadema ingenious banks. As our banks bit my bomb home money if they're in distress, if they're in difficult moments. But then catch us a sovereign bank. The owner is in bed with a friend saying Kofo, yeah. And to another yes, Uniska, Mebo. Shabu amalgamated received 800 million from the government to ensure that ADB Bank when it was way.
Prudential Bank.
And then he catch it. The person catch on and say, the
Papa now yeah in your position. Papa now be here, you know.
We are in bed with you.
You share about
And yet we move campaign.
Fana we here, yes. You kai?
Yes.
So can say, Radia Kam or Hinimu. See at Prudential Bank, Nanado kind of
we are in bed
with you.
And you don't move bank. And I form the Ebesuano. Yeah. They see in 2012. Kokojis canomunt mintian. And then Prudential Bank is also which Ohieska. But Yama Bank of Ghana emi good because the government am fan. Omonke kaka hu nyane shemase. The Minister for Finance or Wangas Wabusheni can offer or because of one akojis can free here. On a beje bosiano to play it safe. Amalgamated, you be pushes come now bank nenya.
About no ya clear.
Shabu
Franco.
These banks are either government banks, ADB and NIB, and banks. And don't mean can have friendly ownership. I say that notwithstanding, our local and international partners are ready and able to take over government stake arising from the 800 million injection.
Yeah.
The takeover of CBG and the acquisition of the significant equity holding in the GATT-assisted banks will represent our strategy to direct play in the commercial banking space in the country. Don't be so much saying they said they are taking control. Yeah. So the commercial banking space, no, it is coming to
the great consolidated.
Yes, yes.
Ghana Consolidated Bank.
As a result of our hold of these banks, 2 goals will be met. Banks two goals. Direct financial contribution in the forms of dividends. And second, granting on funding support to our designated local banks or businesses. But what kind of why I seem to eat your bank biano, they are thinking about dividends.
Dividend
I am fast scared by national holders snatch it. To board in the sick road in the sick because I am the 10 million and we to say a dividends are passed into Miss Media Miss Many. Because as I say, your good banking sector is our back to evidence, and they are pumping in capital by this amalgamated trust. They are going to get a lot of revenue. Lot of revenue number, it will come into their favor.
No, but this can be
so between the diagro. The probably pursue to me. And it's what granting of funding support to our designated local businesses. To go walk in your banking firm or business. But just because they say no banking, own dividends, the kind of business are all ye piano.
Until we top 500 million oil block of America. Obit BFM stations.
Yes. Yes. Shall be so from Penamana.
Good.
Shabu.
Franco.
Adopted children.
Okay.
These are top banks in the local scene with large foreign ownership that will not be able to take controlling equity stake. You can't say equity stake. It's whereby the company has the ability to control the operating and the financial policies.
Okay.
And young man say, maybe I shall be a company. Company no. Obi me control the operations and financial policies. Sani panel, when it comes to voting, okay, 50%. Nipan or a lot of control in the bank. But what you more I'm saying, if you look at foreign banks now, only control of foreign banks, but they know what they will do.
Everybody say APSA.
Yes.
Eco Bank.
Wow. Thank you. However, we still need more substantial influence of their operation. Marika can say substantial influence. I am making sure that beyond or more there. The aim here is not necessarily direct financial contribution from these banks, but rather to assure funding of private businesses aligned to our cause. The aim here is not necessarily direct financial contribution from these banks. But they have a plan B, rather to assure funding for private businesses aligned to our cause. How can they be strong? Private businesses are man for their idea in line to them. If they go for facilities, if they go for credit, they will give it to them.
Because if you cannot, be the board sooner they are there.
Oh, Shaibu. Now my man cry me for. So, put your moha, Sanomoka. In the unlikely event, go for me so me zero and do that. I'm not papa no maji boni you. I want you papa nkwa
or you know where I didn't go.
I'm smart.
Or you don't
Sam go for and see you man can see a chum near good demo.
Near Ghana.
They should think only good about Ghana.
Bounce on the back of the mechanical being. So said Brunia, so young drinking UK, young drinking American. A bar Ghana quite mafia session. Young drinking bomb man.
Shall almost say, hey, in the unlikely event, our bloc is not in power. If their bloc is not in power, if the Achima affairs they are not in power, listen to what they will do. We could also count on them to make pronouncements that will influence public opinion against the ruling government.
Say Kobasa here. Ye nyina ni say 2024 the MPP aye dey. Omo ko opposition. Say Ekobasa na omo kwa ko hye omachi. Omo banks no bia interest rate mo ne niam na bia omayi a government look unpopular
because they are
now him say in opposition. Say now the so-called bankers and niam no can fa NDC.
Me say so it tells you say go for me omo smart. Obekwa kwotena fie oni power but still they control the system. What if you na banking sector no they are always when say banking so say affect abaya obi bia basa. If people lose hope, confidence and faith within the bank,
man, Franco.
And then I was asking,
but I can see upside here.
I nyabotre.
Ade a tron 2017. After Suba Nancy Yano. No more who say a better bank from Max and Absa.
I would say and go for some your professor crime. Those people who wrote this document is not a fiction. Don't joke with it.
Because per this document, Franco, make Caribbean. I got it before say Barclays ever be Absa.
They are telling us that
when him say, Addo AGYAPADE document. Me man ye say because me I saw Absa in it. But na sa time Ghana any bank for Absa.
What are that? Me smart. Akufo say every data that goes into the public domain comes to him.
The Akufo he's a god, he's a small god. Wait there na who say Barclays almost said dinner.
See, I make sure so the catch that document in 2007, 2008 or the catch us in 2012 or the person is lying. So Masama Mokani, Sabu, Absa, you know, as I try to former Barclays. Absa, former Barclays.
Mania, I Pinto Bekaya. Yeah, honorable Ken. Is it from I say not a western north. I say Savannah and I say upper west. And ye namna ye AGYAPADE document no. And to walk no. Ana
Pinto neka
no. And I'm going to Pinto. I don't know. Only my kind I saw Absa bank be a fan Absa. But that time no. Na
Barclays.
Barclays.
Nti Absa ne dey.
Dey.
Won't ase. DTI. Absa formerly Barclays. The management of this bank is largely aligned with Antoinette Kofi. I'll tell you who Antoinette Kofi is.
Okay.
Antoinette Kofi Nishabu. If you go to the board of Minerals Income and Investment Fund, she's a board member.
Okay.
But she's in bed and in camp with this kind of people. But she's with Absa.
Okay.
And you know, they can use her position and influence to get a lot of things from Absa that will fight against the next government where the government is not in their camp. To make Matinafi now move to Addo. Or say the management of this bank is largely aligned, and Antoinette, who is the director of finance, is fully behind our project.
Okay. Antoinette, or can say you just so much.
Yes.
What actually?
Yes. This explains her presence on the board of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, MIIF board. In the event that the position of the managing director of the institution becomes vacant, the position that is I would say of the managing director will become hopefully Nana still in power. Diplomatic channels to Pretoria should be utilized in support of Antoinette ascending to the rule.
Sir Antoinette, the man or no the on the kind of yen the corner cranda. Se penimpana juma dien eba ya Antoinette quite business na nafa no the question be na nafa
tie almost say who crab here say Akufo betu kwa kopiem Pretoria South Africa akwa hye mpanfo no madi nkomo amomri sa position e dia ma oba na they will do it. They will do it. And if you look at this woman, obviously the management of this bank is largely aligned. So if you look at Absa right now, per this, the top management of Absa, they are in bed with this kind of people. The management of Absa, the day-to-day operations of the bank, Absa Ghana, and Painfono, they are in bed with this kind of
achievements. That's who for the copy to South Africa. Because me person mama me.
Only say
now because the Bia. Bank Ghana.
What you say? Moment deep peche. Sika papa bia befa ho. When come international transactions are one befa. You get your target. So look at the kind of mindset take it on. Almost say to Pretoria should be utilized in support of Antoinette ascending to the role. The substantial flow of government businesses of the bank to the bank since Nana came to power should continue to keep the bank on our side. And if you look at international transactions and dealings, majority of them pass through ABSA.
Former Barclays.
EcoBank. We have 2 rules of entry into this institution. Almost 2 rules. Yes.
Acquire me, say, for the EcoBank. Acquire your father, you're too for my be.
And that's how we backward Bamunada.
Sir,
yes. Sir, backward Bum and other. Sir, EcoBank.
Acquire me, and I say, for the EcoBank,
backward ye, you must see a yajma funeral. And I did say.
And I'm so careful checking.
And I say, oh, yeah, I'm released with the mount. Fatoso. No, a baby see again super pepper. That is what I'm saying. And I don't take this to be a fiction. Or say, we have 2 rules of entry into this institution. First is through Senate, which has a seat of the board of EcoBank by the virtue of its shareholding. The seat is occupied by the Director General of Senate. In phase 2, our agenda, Kofi Bosompem Osafo-Maafo, who is a deputy director general of Senate, should be made the director general to give him the seat at the EcoBank board chair.
Kese senator no. Oye director general.
Yes.
O san so board chair.
Yes.
Ewo EcoBank.
Yes.
And the kwan ba ko ne say Osafo-Maafo ne babema.
Yes.
Na making the director general of Senate. Na anam say automatically he become the board chair no. Like the EcoBank kwan na first woman.
Now if you look at Nipa no your boss is here now, he's not aligned with them. They will tell the man to proceed on leave without any reason.
Uncle me.
Uncle leave.
I did be also the
don't level on here problem. You also mafu. Omen can say about 165 days you uncle leave a day, so he should go and leave.
Yes, say court
Supreme Court. I can say no. Come fast some can man uncle leave no. And you're wrong. Shabu, where phase 1, phase 2. You remember phase 1 be years and the actual. Secondly, the wife of Ace Ankuma is the group head of Ghana, is the group head of Ghana Commercial Banking and a member of the executive management of the EcoBank Group. Our intelligence is that both the role of the group CEO and the managing director of EcoBank Ghana will become vacant in the next 2 or 3 years. Nana has been advised to use all diplomatic avenues to support Ace Ankuma's wife to fill one of these impending vacancies. Okay, Ace Ankuma.
Yeah.
Occupy Ghana.
Yeah.
Occupy Ghana. Open Kofo no majo mama pressure. And you see, Obia won interest or the yard. George Anda was part of Occupy Ghana.
Yeah, Minister of Finance.
That was deputy minister for trade. Okay.
Yeah.
George Anda.
Yeah.
Kwajo Ponkoma was a member of Occupy Ghana. And not a minister for information.
Davis Mo.
Amoy. Kofi Bento. Amoy. They enjoying big time. They enjoying because I don't know what person more achieve. Also GCB, the bank is already under her. Stanbic is another South African bank that we can leverage on a diplomatic relationship between Accra and Pretoria to ensure that the successor to Andeni and other key appointments subsequent to that are favorable to project our goal. The more Kenyanis Andeni, the time now we or call and to some also copy more South Africa and Anako, not key positions do or Mojaman Kofa or Nana Kufado and then again yapping. No more person with me or more TV or main aim and objective. No, Babaso. Sabu, the mama say same way. I don't take it to be a fiction anymore. And he say, but phone body with mommy. The person can't be the mommy every day. I don't want to do it. My person can't be mommy.
Franco the hater.
Shaibu, I want you to read something for me. Say, Adiano, a fiction. And I say, a fiction. Mamu say, Austin, Eddie,
yeah, and our project in the dungeon.
Shaibu, don't for me almost Adiwi. Office of the President. Office
of the
President. Maybe Jubilee House, Accra. Telephone numbers, digital address GA000-00288. Shaibu, way and reference letter OPS 127/24/331. Termination of office and handing over.
What you manage? and I want Cadibiana from Fagu.
Reference is made to your appointment letter dated 1st July 2019, issued by the Public Service Commission. In accordance with paragraph 8 of the said appointment letter, I regret to inform you that the President has terminated your appointment effective 15th April 2024 with 3 months salary in lieu of notice. You are directed to hand over your office to Mr. Kofi Bosompem or Safo Mafu and proceed to collect any terminal benefits you may be entitled to. To ensure a smooth transition, kindly hand over and cease to act that the Director General of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust (SNIT) no later than close of business on Monday, 15th April 2024. Copied the Vice President, the Chief of Staff, the Minister, Minister for Employment, the Board Chairman, and the Chairperson. Shaibu, it is here. Say, and I want to read it for you again. EcoBank, we have 2 rules of entry into this institution. First is through Senate, which has a seat of the board of EcoBank Ghana by the virtue of its shareholding. The seat is occupied by the Director General of Senate. In face of our agenda, Kofi Bosompem Osafo Mafu, who is a Deputy Director General of Senate, should be made the Director General to give him the seat on the EcoBank board.
Uncle, Medase.
Oh, as already.
Uncle Medase. I was here for how did you make it? Nasa Achim section of this Achim Mafia. A poor or my boy, a dear for Ghana. Now, when the unlikely event happens, not John Dramani Mahama be president. Na almost cut on the Gonja AGYAPADE3 ba. Ana se ba omios boka so de wale AGYAPADE3 ba. Na me no mienu a ye busuafo nyo mampanyi. Na ke se ye be gya omo Ghana. Na ye nka hwe ye do soro egya omo. Ye be san hia.